A very good morning to all the dignitaries present here. I am Vinuta, an engineering graduate working in.
For the past 2 years, we have been running a sprint program that helps connect talent with companies through internships. As we have been placing Indian students in internship with the global companies, we have been noticed three things about Indian talent. We want to give Indian talent the chance to grow at a global level and have a real opportunity in the workforce. We've been developing our internship curriculum in collaboration with Harvard Business School, and we are learning our operation with the support from Korean government. I hope schools will take a look at our program with an open mind for the benefits of the students' future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. It was an engaging speech indeed. Up next, we have Mr. Gyure Ryan Kim, representative of Organization of Ministry of SMEs for Government of Republic of Korea. Serial entrepreneur with successful exit experiences, he is a fantastic computer engineer at Case Western Reserve University, US, and also graduated as hardware engineer at Lewis Stokes Cleveland VA Medical Center. Mr. Ryan is a part of International Institute of Medical Sciences and Technology Council. As a member, more than a government representative of South Korea, dear Ryan, you are more than any designation. You are a part and parcel of this program. I invite you to kindly take over.
Thank you. Good morning, dear guests. My name is Ryan Kim. I'm the CEO of Kellis Company in South Korea. Thank you for attending the conference today, and I'd like to share my gratitude to the Council for Indian students. I found out that the concept of internship has been corrupted among these students. I found out that there are many private training institutions that would give out the internship certificate after giving a 3-day seminars. That is not an internship, right? These training institutions are handing out the internship certificates after just providing a short training. That is not an internship. That's a training, which cannot give a real-world problems for the students. How can we expect our students to learn the problem-solving skills when there are no problems to solve? In Kellis Company, we neither guarantee placements nor the certificates. However, we do guarantee that the students will get authentic experiences and fair competition opportunities. That I can promise, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, for the wonderful speech. Up next is Mr. Sukho Juno Yu, is also a South Korean delegate, representative, Organization of Ministry of SMEs, Government of Republic of Korea. He is a biomedical engineer at Case Western Reserve University, US, and a medical researcher at Cleveland Clinic, US. Mr. Juno is the Master of Technical Plans of our internship program and a member of the Council. Being a member of the International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council family, I welcome him for a presentation on our internship program.
Thank you so much for wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Juno Yu, and I'm a co-founder and CTO of Kellis Company. I'm also a member of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council. And first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Sridhar Saraswati for this amazing opportunity. And I'd like to talk about why this remote international internship matters for India right now. Since we've already went through my profile, this is my profile, I'd like to just jump right in. So again, why remote international internship matters to India? I always like to jump to the conclusions first. And first is remote work is a new norm. Remote work is everywhere, and this trend will accelerate in the future. Second, Indian students can be directly exposed to global standards through remote international internship. Third, there is a growing demand of talented Indian students among the high-tech companies. So first, this is the example of the real-world industry exposure in a remote international internship. Students are actively discussing the new proof of concept they came up this week with the CTO and the COO of the UK-based fintech company, Abicross, one of our partners, and while everyone is sitting in their home in India. For students participating in our program, showing up to the meeting is never enough. They need to constantly execute and deliver the outcome to the industry supervisors. They are constantly pushed to be more proactive in order to gather more feedback and enhance their products. At the end of each project cycle, the company supervisors have new features that can be incorporated into their upcoming software release. And more importantly, supervisors can perform a detailed, holistic assessment of each student for offering paid job position at the end of the internship. The last point I want to make is global companies are actively looking for talented Indian students. In the perspective of Western high-tech startup, labor cost is brutally high. The average salary of full-stack developer in US is roughly 12 million Indian rupees per year. From what I experienced with many Indian students, they are as capable of handling technology stacks as any other engineers I've worked with. With similar capabilities, Indian students have a significant advantage over the US graduates because they have more room to negotiate the salary level that ultimately benefits the company. Furthermore, the new emerging mega trend of artificial intelligence and machine learning sector is creating massive remote jobs. There is 4,000% increase in the new job postings related to AI/ML, and since early 2023. With massive private and public funds flowing into the sector, global high-tech companies are likely to continue this hiring trend. So partnering with International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, we are bringing in this remote internship opportunities to India. So we have devised an independent, holistic application process that assesses each and everyone's capabilities in detail. Students must fill out application form with their general information and credentials. Then they will be provided with 5-day assessment project. By completing the 5-day assessment project, students can demonstrate their problem solving and technical capabilities. The deliverables from the 5-day assessment projects are then used in the industry interview that is conducted by the industry partners, such as CEOs and CTOs. Once the candidate passes the interview, internship begins. At the end of the predetermined period of internship, students will have a chance to secure the full-time, remote, paid position from the company. The primary reason why we devised an independent application process is because we wanted to select applicants purely based on their abilities. Regardless of where you're from, whether you're from rural background, village background, city background, we treat each and everyone equally. Hence the name of this auspicious event, Diamond Beneath Your Feet. We will always strive to find the hidden gems that are ready to shine in the international high-tech industries. Thank you very much.
All through the years, our Mahan Bharat stands tall for various different reasons. One of them is embracing our culture and tradition by always treating our guests as gods. It emphasizes the traditional Indian cultural value of hospitality, where guests are treated with utmost respect, honor, and care. Atiti Devo Bhava. Yes, we believe in it and wholeheartedly follow as well. And here we are welcoming our esteemed guest to our event, an international forum on transforming India through internship program.
To begin, we would first like to introduce Dr. Aditya Chowty. So Dr. Aditya Chowty, who's a well-known medical practitioner, a minimum of 150 patients he might see a day, but he never leaves his smile or patience till the last patient. We are so lucky that Dr. Aditya S. Chowty is the principal of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council. I now request Dr. Aditya to invite and escort the Honorable Vice Chancellor of one of the largest university in India, Visvesvaraya Technological University, who is also our distinguished presiding officer, Professor Dr. S. Vidyashankar.
Professor Dr. S. Vidyashankar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Visvesvaraya Technological University and our presiding officer for today's conference, has been driving force in shaping the future of education and innovation, carrying forward the rich legacy of one of India's most prestigious institutions. His leadership has constantly focused on fostering academic excellence, promoting research and development, and preparing students for the challenges of the ever-evolving technological landscape. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah, welcoming Dr. S. Vidyashankar. Up next, we would like to introduce Dr. Sitaram Chowty. Dr. Sitaram Chowty is one of the topmost general physician in Bangalore. He is a co-founder of Malya Hospital and the founding medical practitioner of Apollo. He has got more than 4 decades of experience in medical field. We are very glad that Sir is the senior council member of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, and we request him to invite and escort Professor Dr. Vinay Kumar Pathak on the dais.
Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur, and the President of Association of Indian Universities. Professor Pathak has had a long career as a Vice Chancellor of 8 universities nationwide. He recently, in 2024, was unanimously elected as the President of the Association of Indian Universities, Delhi. Professor Pathak has been a well-respected member of the Board of Governance of various institutions, including IITs and Banaras Hindu University. We welcome you, sir.
Moving forward, I would now like to call upon Dr. Padma. So Dr. Padma is an alumni of IIMK and National University of Education Planning and Administration. She's also been trained in US and UK in connection with education. She was heading the top colleges in India like MIT Pune. She is the Director of Academics of the International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, and I request Dr. Padma to escort and invite Professor Devika P. Madali onto the dais.
Dr. Devika P. Madali is the Director of InflipNet UGC. She has served as a member of High-Level Evaluation Committee of UNFAO's Statistical Database and Information Services. Madam is also a member of High-Level Committee evaluating the implementation of CGIAR, Open Access and Data Management Policy, including its 15 centers across the world. She served as a member of G806 Data Infrastructures Working Group hosted by European Commission. Professor Madali is a member of and a consultant to several international organizations and initiatives, including UNFAO, UNESCO, and Global Service Forum. We welcome you, ma'am.
Moving further, I would like to introduce Professor Anil Kumar Joshi, sir. So Dr. Joshi is having 2 decades of experience in clinical psychology and also is the chairman of United College and director of Diamond College. And he is one of the topmost orator in Karnataka. Kannada language is his strength. Also, he is a professional clinical psychologist, a teacher, and an educational philanthropist. He is the vice president of Bangalore PU Colleges Association.
Dr. Varinder S. Kanwar, sir, can we have you on the stage, please, sir? CEO of National Accreditation Board of Education and Training under Quality Council of India. Dr. Kanwar carries more than 27 years of research, teaching and administrative experience. Dr. Kanwar holds academic and administrative positions in institutes like NIT, Thapar University, Patiala, and Punjab Technical University, Jalandhar. He served as the founding registrar and further Vice Chancellor of Chitrakar University, Himachal Pradesh. Dr. Kanwar has written 8 books, 80 research papers in national and international journals, 17 research papers in conferences. We welcome you, sir.
We're now introducing Dr. Deepak Palaksha, a scientist and an entrepreneur. He started his humble life but reached to join the School of Harvard with his sheer talent. He has received his PhD from Unveiling Technical University, which is one of the top-notch universities in the world. We are very proud to have you as our country head of the Sprint program and the technical head of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council. We request you, Dr. Deepak, to escort and invite Professor Dr. Niranjan Vanali onto the dais.
Professor Dr. Niranjan Vanali, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bangalore North University, Kolar. Dr. Niranjan Vanali is one of the most top educationists in the state and a prolific writer. He has authored several books and also contributed several articles to various newspapers and journals. We are honored to have you, sir. Thank you.
Up next, introducing Mr. Madhusudan. He is one amongst the youngest industrialists who has started his business world in 20s. He has his post-graduation in bioinformatics and is actively involved in manufacturing, pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, and many other domains. He is the Director of Administration of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council. We are glad to have you as the administrator of this organization, and your industry experience will definitely guide the council forward. Request you to escort and invite Mr. Sangeet Varghese onto the dais.
Shri Sangeet Varghese, President of IIMSTC Europe. He is the personal advisor to 3 Prime Ministers of the world on matters of leadership and youth development. Mr. Varghese is an ambassador of Harvard School and London School of Economics, author and editor of Forbes and Economic Times, principal consultant of UNO in London. He is a leadership consultant for institutions like UNO, World Bank, and Fortune 500 corps like Microsoft, Intel, and Unilever. We welcome you, sir.
Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Shivkumar Kumbar. Dr. Shivkumar Kumbar is currently the member of IMA Ethics HQ. He is an anesthesiologist, a media legal consultant, and a medical journalist. Dr. Shivkumar Kumbar, can you please escort and invite Dr. Thiru Somarajeshwaran, who's AVP.
Thiru Somarajeshwaran is the Vice President of Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation and is representing Ms. Innocent Divya, ma'am, who is the Managing Director of Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation. Unfortunately, she could not be with us today. We welcome you, sir. Thank you for your presence.
Up next, I would like to introduce Ms. Preeti. So Ms. Preeti leads the software division of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council. She has completed her MSc in bioinformatics and also has 15 plus years of experience in software industry. Request Ms. Preeti to escort and invite Ms. Veena Bella.
Madam Veena Bella is the former Secretary of Association of Indian Universities. Ms. Veena is also the advisor of B.Y. Patil University and also various other universities. She is one of the senior most educationists in India. We are delighted to have you in our presence, ma'am. Thank you.
Throughout history, women have showed remarkable resilience, from fighting for rights to balancing multiple roles in their lives. Women have continuously risen to challenges. Their strength inspires not just their families, but entire communities. At the International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, we strongly believe in equality, diversity, and women empowerment. We now request the female powerhouses on the dais to inaugurate the event by lighting the lamp. To begin, I would like to call upon Ms. Veena Bella to light the lamp. I now humbly request Professor Devika P. Madali to add on to the celebration by lighting the lamp. also like to call upon Dr. Padma along with Smith Preeti to join hands with the ladies. I request all the male members to shower the flowers on the lamp. Lighting the lamp holds deep significance across various cultures and contexts. It represents the illumination of mind, signifying the importance of education and wisdom. Witnessing the lamp being lit may it inspire all of us.
Dr. Aditya Chowti, the Principal of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, to provide an introduction of the Council, and the author of the day, Dr. Sridhar Saraswati sir.
Good morning to all of you present here. It feels fantastic to see all of you gather here in large numbers to be part of our event. I am Dr. Aditya Chowti, Principal Counsel for IIMSTC. I'm sure by now all of you do know what we are and what our council is made of. And it gives me immense pleasure and pride to introduce our chairman, sir, Professor Dr. Sridhar Saraswati, to all of you. Let me assure you, whatever I speak today will not do justice to him. I'm not saying this because he's my chairman. I'm saying this because that is the whole truth. Just to give you some introduction, Dr. Sridhar Saraswati was educated in an ancient Gurukul system under a great philosopher and a writer named Sri Guru Nitya Chaitanya Yati, who has written more than 1,000 books on psychology and philosophy. The journey of Professor Dr. Saraswati started in IIM, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, till Edinburgh University, Scotland, where he received a PhD in Neurosciences, specializing in the philosophy of mind, which then gained a lot of widespread in the European media and scientists alike. His findings are still a top reference in the top universities in the world, and also with this he has been associated with many great legendary scientists, including our very own dear Dr. Abdul Kalam. He has more than 3 decades of experience in research and in researching, dedicated to the nation by all means. Dr. Saraswati, as was mentioned before, is globally known as the father of parametronics, which is a new subject in medical education. This announcement was made by the Governor, His Excellency the Governor of Karnataka in 2021 in the presence of many union and state ministers, officials of the Indian Medical Association, legendary medical practitioners, and many other eminent personalities around the globe. Dr. Saraswati is also an advisor to various Indian and foreign universities. His contribution to the field of innovation and to the advancement of human values is recognized by the Healthcare Innovation National Awards 2023. As you all know, we have gathered here for something which Dr. Saraswati has done recently. I'd be happy to announce that Dr. Saraswati is the first Indian author who has contributed to textbooks simultaneously in the medical and in the engineering fields. Though such cross-disciplinary works are quite rare, he has shown us that it is possible. With great respect and love, I call upon Dr. Sridhar Saraswati, sir.
Mar Gangadhar, currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Chamarajanagara University, former Chairman of Department of Studies in Anthropology and former Director, Educational Multimedia and Research Center, University of Mysore. He is the President of India's Visitors Nominee on the selection committees for the appointment of faculties and statutory posts at the Central University of Karnataka State. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, dignitaries. Up next, I call upon Dr. Sandeep Sashidharan, who is also a council member, former medical practitioner at Jubilee Medical College and Managing Director of Al Shama Group of Companies, Dubai, to accompany Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak in honoring the guest of honor, Dr. Tejum Padu. Sir, kindly step forward.
And request all of you to please be seated.
Dr. Tejum Padu, the Vice Chancellor of Northeast Frontier Technical University, currently the Vice Chancellor and the first private technical university in the state. He is also the former Higher and Technical Education Director of Arunachal Pradesh. I would like Thank you, dignitaries. Kindly be seated on the dais.
Please be seated on the dais. We now request Dr. Sujit Simon and Dr. Sitaram Chowti to honor the guest of honor, Dr. Ashok Sangappa. A little bit about Dr. Sujit Simon. He's the CEO of International Institute of Medical Science and Technology Council, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And a little introduction about our guest of honor, Dr. Ashok Sangappa, the Vice Chancellor of Kodagu University. He has served as the first director of Center of Excellence for Farmer, Producer and Organization and was instrumental in formulation of Karnataka State FPO Policy 2018. Welcome you, sir. Please be seated on the dais, sir.
Up next, I would like to call upon Shri Anil A.N., KS Officer, Special Officer to the State Minister, to accompany Professor Devika P. Madili Ma'am in honoring Dr. Anurag Tomar, Director, NIMS University, Jaipur, Managing Trustee, Indian Medical Trust. Ma'am, we request you to kindly do the honors to Professor Dr. Anurag Tomar, the Director and the Managing Trustee of Indian Medical Trust, Executive Board Member of CIAP 2022, Advisor of Indian Pediatrics in the North Zone and the member of the Membership Committee. We request the dignitaries to kindly be seated on the dais. To kindly be seated on the dais. Yes, madam.
Up next, we would like to call upon Mr. Vikas, CEO of Edzol Informatics, and Dr. Varinder S. Kanwar to honor our guest of honor, Dr. Nayak. Dr. Nayak is the member of Bioenergy Brigade, Government of Karnataka. He is the former Vice Chancellor of Gulbarga University and Central University, Karnataka. He has also worked as Registrar, Karnataka State Women's University, and he also is an executive committee member of Karnataka State Bioenergy Development Board. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, dignitaries. Up next is Dr. Giri, our very own family member, Technical Senior Counsel, International Institute of Medical Science and Technology. With him is Shri Sangeet Varghese to honor Professor Dr. B.P. Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Maharshi University, Lucknow. Sir, kindly step forward. Hold on.
Professor Dr. B.P. Singh. That is, Dr. B.P. Singh is on his way. one more, yeah, sure. No problem. We have spares. Yeah.
Dr. B.P. Singh is presently the Vice Chancellor of Maharshi University of Information Technology, Lucknow, and has been serving in the capacity since 2019. Prior to that, he has served as the Director at Murdabad Institute of Technology, MIT.
Welcome you, sir. Please be seated on the dais.
Sir, kindly be seated on the dais.
I now request Professor Anil Joshi, the Head of Training, and Professor Dr. Niranjan Vanali to honor our guest of honor, Dr. Venkateshwaralu, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tumkur University. Dr. Venkateshwaralu is currently the Vice Chancellor of Tumkur University, Karnataka. He has also worked as Registrar in Kuvempu University. Prior to that, he was the Registrar in Tumkur University. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, dignitaries. Kindly be seated on the dais. Sir, requesting you to kindly be seated on the dais. Up next is Mr. Madhusudan, who is going to accompany Professor S. Vidyashankar, sir, the presiding officer of today, to honor Professor Dr. Suresh H., the Vice Chancellor of Haveri University, presently the first Vice Chancellor of Haveri University. He is a Fulbright alumnus, received Fulbright Nehru Visiting Lecturer Fellowship from Houston during 2011. Sir, kindly step forward. I request Dr. Sitaram Chowti to unveil the textbook along with the guests. Can we request the audience to kindly clap, as this is something that we never get to witness.
So many dignitaries on one dais.
Can we have you show the textbook? Yes, dignitaries, thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, all of you can take your books back.
I thought I could take the limelight and take the credit for releasing the book, which I have not written. But after Professor Dr. Saraswati's thought-provoking. It touched my heart. We look only at one angle. As doctors, many patients come. Most of our colleagues have probably treated free, raised funds, few here and there. I have worked from government hospital to corporate hospital, but they say you can take a person to the river and give him water, but I say better teach him how to fish. That will be a long-term job for him. That's exactly what Dr. Sridhar Saraswati has done. Being a teacher myself for about 20 years, for postgraduates and for DNB students, we only look at the academics and the syndromes, how many books you have or how many papers you have authored, Lancet, Indian journals. All that is necessary. It is important. But we forget to talk from bench to bedside. What's happening in the lab and how do we treat our patients? That's the other side. But to lift people who are not even aware of what's the other world, to take them to the real world and make them stand on their own so that they in turn, knowing from where they have come, would also help another 10 people. And what more we want than this? And this would be the theme which I understood from Dr. Sridhar Saraswati's beautiful insight, if I'm not want to call it a speech or whatever it is. And I think we have to owe something to society which has given us so much name, fame, wealth, health, whatnot, to all of us here.
Welcome to the annual event of the Academy. I think it's a nice good morning for all of you and a thought-provoking first remarks by Dr. Saraswati. First, I want to congratulate him on the wonderful book which he has written for all of us to understand and to study. I think two important points which he has spoken about. One is the education. One is the internship, and one is of the skill education which we are trying to do. Aim for all of us to introspect the doctors, the engineers, the vice chancellors, the NGOs, the company like what Saraswati ji has formulated. With all of us, it is the time to introspect where we should do what. It's true that Indian doctors are best. It's true that we command on most of the data in the world, but it is still true that we are not producing any product of artificial intelligence or data science which can assist our doctors. They are taking data from us and giving back the product to us, which we have to really buy. Come the northern part of the country, come to Uttar Pradesh, I and Bhanuji are there. We will also try to, we want to try this model, because anyway, all the political powers goes from UP. The Prime Minister and the leader of opposition are from Uttar Pradesh. So that is the largest state of the country. And southern part and northern part, both we have to see, and we have got a lot of students, lot of kind of skills. I think if you have this kind of Section 8 company, if you have, you just told about that zero doesn't matter. So you have to also make lot of zeros around your companies to make it 2 lakhs, 2,000 lakhs companies like this to just see that the country like India goes in a skill. With these words, I want to congratulate you on these efforts which you have made, which you have gathered and fostered a lot of intellects with you. I think this is an important experiment, but still it has to go a long way. And if we want to see the day of light, what you aspire, then it's a matter of a very great hard work we have to foster, and we should experiment. As a part of the Association of Indian Universities, I really welcome you. If you want to sign an MOU with AIU to do all those things, we are more than ready. If you are also interested to sign an MOU with our university and wants to do some pilot in Uttar Pradesh, I, along with Bhanuji, also want to request you to come back. You have not gone to Netherlands to sign MOU because it was some part of the other country, but for Uttar Pradesh, because we have got Varanasi and Ayodhya both, so you have to come to Uttar Pradesh to sign the MOU. We will not come to Karnataka to sign the MOU. That is what we are making it clear. So thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks for the warm hospitality. Thanks for the visionary leadership of Sridharji. But still, it's a very, very small thing which he has done. I will not say because I am not the master of the ceremony who will tell you have done a lot of things. Long way to go, and long live this Section 8 company. And it's a very, very bhagirath prayas you have to do to achieve what you have thought. Thank you very much.
Dear audience, this is a very important video which is going to tell us about the internship that our students are going to witness. Yes, ma'am, kindly do the honors. May I also say, this is just the beginning. I call upon Mr. Deepak to kindly take over.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to be talking in front of all of you, in front of this legendary educationalists and dignitaries. 21%. 21% is what industry people think our students are capable right after the graduation to get a placement for. Only 21% they think have the skill to get the job placement right after the graduation. This is quite alarming, right? In this alarming situation, there is one tool which is extremely important to bridge this gap, and that process is called internship. This tool, if when we use properly, can bridge the process between industry and academia. All of the lawmakers from all of the political parties unanimously mentioned upskilling is one of the most important need of the hour for the country to propel forward. Our beloved Prime Minister also mentions this upskilling needs to happen outside the classroom and not inside the classroom, where students are given an example of real world problems, where they face these problems to find solutions. Our beloved chairman from UGC also mentions that this not just helps students to just help with their technical ability, but also helps with them personal growth. When all of these fundamentals set up, and we all know UGC have already mandated, it is a mandatory internship affair for every single student now. When the fundamentals are already set, what is the problem in terms of implementing these guidelines? We have major 4 problems. I'm going to take you through each one of them very shortly. First one is identifying the industry for internships. It is extremely hard for our students to find an internship position. For your reference, we currently have 76,000 industries which are being part of AICTE forum. AICTE has an internship portal all over India. And in these 76,000, can anybody guess or can we guess how many internship positions we have in Bangalore? And Bangalore is known for being the IT hub, right? It is 84 internship positions that we have in Bangalore out of 76,000 companies providing opportunity. What is even more alarming is undergraduate students in Bangalore is over 3.2 crore students. If you look at the ratio, it is 1:10 lakh, even 1 lakh, right? So it puts all of us in the room being the responsible people for those lives. I think it's high time we act on it. The second biggest challenge we have is readiness. Students are not ready to be directly hired. They need that upskilling. On the other side, industries are also not taught how to effectively train a student and absorb them, because everybody is doing at their own operational level. Number 3, university and institutions are unable to monitor the internships effectively. So we all acknowledge this, right? What is happening now is this has become a black box process. Students comes to our faculty, tell sir, I am doing this internship, ma'am, I am doing this internship. Next 3 to 4 months, they are gone. Maybe there's one meeting in between, maximum. But then after 4 months only, when we see them with their report and certificate. And then it is extremely hard to keep their accountability, right? We don't know if they really did it, if their cousins did it, or if some third-party vendor did it for them. If we want to use this time to guide our students to upskill, it is also our responsibility to track their process and keep them accountable for this process. The fourth important problem is the authenticity of certification. 500 rupees as equivalent to a PVR movie ticket is sufficient to get internship of our topic of choice from our well-known, renowned industries to get whatever certificate you want. 500 rupees. In this alarming situation, if we don't solve this problem, there is serious consequences. The serious consequences should not be taken lightly, because this might hamper the growth of country itself. The unemployment rate is at its highest, also talking about seconding on what doctor was telling. The second is there are a lot of fake companies which are just on paper and coming here to provide internship certificates for our students, where not enough real work and upskilling on the real world problems are happening. Number 3, there are a lot of spurious training centers which are just training on courses on students and telling this to be an internship, which we all acknowledge in the room, which is not the case, correct? The fourth important problem, which is slowly leading towards this, is we all know, being in this influential position, how distracted our students are. Based on the social media, the lifestyle they see, the lifestyle they want to live, it would not stop them doing anything from getting there. And this is seen like a great opportunity for a lot of antisocial elements to distract our students and get them towards that direction. So it's high time we all, the stakeholders, the important stakeholders of internship ecosystem take this into consideration. We have 3 major stakeholders, right? University, industry, and primarily student. So I'm going to quickly take through the problems in introducing these guidelines for universities, students, and industry in a very brief way. For universities, we have 4 major problems. Accountability, like I already mentioned. Number 2, industry. The industry legitimacy is a very big problem for university. University cannot go through all of them to understand if the industry is legitimate or not. Number 3 is administrative burden on the faculty is extremely high. I'll give you a case study, right? This is based off a college where the college mentor is mentoring around 15 students. And each student, even if you assume a minimum of 2 hours, they need to spend 30 hours in a week to just mentor students every week. And we all know that for a 40-hour work week, 30 hours of mentoring is almost impractical, because they have to do labs, they have to do classes, they have to take care of exams, they have to do documentation for all the accreditation bodies these days. So teachers don't have that bandwidth, unfortunately. The burden is extremely high on them to do an effective mentorship. The fourth bigger problem is certificate authentication, which I already mentioned. How do we solve for the accountability of the problem? The teacher or the faculty will now have a calendar view using our software, where this calendar view will give an understanding if the student is attending the internship or not. So all that they have to do is look at this calendar in everyday manner on daily updates. We also have an enhanced feature coming into place where we are using geotagging. What we do is, when students, only when they go to that particular industry vicinity, the portal opens up. So this would avoid students leaking out of the platform and not doing work. There is another thing, which is important thing, which we are also offering in terms of driving accountability. This is completely as per AICTE guidelines. They have introduced an amazing tool called Daily Log. What does the tool tell? Every day, student, before the end of the night, that is 11:59 p.m., has to write what are the things he has done. So I worked on the project, I worked on these technical specification, I looked into these problems, these are the problems I have for the tomorrow, and fill in that information. Students will be allowed to write that only that particular day. This brings that student's authentication into our picture. You might always think, right? Now with ChatGPT, sir, they are already doing reports and all with ChatGPT. How hard it is for them to copy paste this information. Exactly correct, absolutely correct. So keeping this in mind, we have brought in two other things. One is there is going to be no copy paste feature. So even if they have ChatGPT, they have to still type it. Number two is there will be an automatic AI content analyzer, which actually analyzes what they are writing and gives a report card on the student, which gives an overview for the faculty how he is writing his reports on everyday basis. So these two things with the geotag would drive the complete accountability of the student during the entire internship period. The second biggest challenge university have is industry legitimacy. So in order to avoid that, we have in the application form itself, students are asked to write Udyog Aadhaar number for Indian companies and company registration number for international companies. Students also need to provide the GST or the VAT number to understand the financial capacity of the industry. Currently, there are a lot of industries also requesting us that we cannot trust all the industry, so there are only set of industries that we have partnered with that we want to roll this out with. So in that case, students can do their internships only with those particular internships approved by the university. Thanks to Dr. and his vision, Council is also going forward to help universities because we understand the time and the bandwidth available for industry to go through, scrutinize, check the reliability of the company is extremely hard. So Council is taking a step forward in understanding the legitimacy of the company and offer this as a solution for free for the universities. Next. Academic burden is extremely high, like I already mentioned. So the faculty will now have one single dashboard. If you look at the dashboard, on the left, they have all the students that they are working with. And these students they just have to click on that, then have complete daily log calendar view of if they are submitting daily log, if they are attending classes properly, and what is the process of the content creation, or like what is the report on that. This would reduce the operational hours of our faculty member from 30 hours to just 10 hours per week. In addition, this also gives a bird eye view for the admins like principals, HODs, and the university itself to understand what is the total number of students engaged. A bird eye view, right? Getting an overview of how things are going. Thank you. And the fourth one, in order to solve the certificate authentication, we have a certificate where we have a unique QR code, where when Q scanned, it gives the information of what the student has been in terms of the work. Next. So every student has its own unique QR code, so the entire journey is tracked through a video platform, and accountability starts from day one. Once university's problems can be solved using this one software, the next challenge we want to solve is for students. Students have 4 major challenges. I'll keep it short and brief because most of them are self-explanatory. Next one. So students have lack of channels to get quality internship. seconding what Professor Vinay sir was also telling, that yes, this is where the action of councils become very important. Because somehow, from my experience by talking to a lot of industries, right, and being an entrepreneur myself, somehow industries trust councils more than the institutions. And councils should become this bridge to at least source the legitimate industries so that there is a complete source or complete ecosystem creation. The next is students have no idea how to do an internship effectively. Nobody has ever taught them, right? We have taught them how to write ABCD, but nobody has taught us how to do an internship effectively, which is the most important part of their life. So this book could be a guide to all of the students who want to do this internship, both on the industry part and also on the research part. Because there is a very strong research methodology steps provided in the book. And being students ourselves at some point, none of us really enjoyed making reports, right? At least considering myself, I always used to run, I was one of those students where in that 4 students group, I did 80% of the technical work, and I gave that report thing to completely another student who did not do anything during the project. Because a lot of people hate doing reports. Some of the professors will also acknowledge, right? So, when there is convenience for students in every signal segment, but we also need convenience for students in also education segment. So here we have a one-click report generation feature, where as soon as you click one click, there is going to be a PDF generated, as shown on the right side, and also we'll show later, where it is completely as per AICTE guidelines, and it will be a PDF which is ready to be printed and submitted to the college. College don't have to worry about if it's reviewed or not. Everything will be reviewed on daily basis. Everything is ready. All of the operational work for teachers and students will be solved. And certificate authentication, like already mentioned. Thank you. Next one. So the BAP of this ecosystem is industry somehow, who is driving this whole ecosystem. Industries have 2 major problems. And why you see this gap, right? Out of this 76,000, only 84 internships positions available. And however, in India, we have around 3.2 crore MSME companies. 3.2 crore MSME companies are registered in India. What is available on platform is just 76,000. So in this particular scenario, industries have 2 major problems. One is the time-consuming process in terms of monitoring. So in order to solve this, we actually use another dashboard, very similar to faculty for industry, where they can go through all of the details regarding the student. They can also track what they have been doing. They can, in addition, provide manual or automated attendance, meaning they can either automate the attendance through daily log or provide the attendance manually. And we are creating a channel where the industry and mentor can directly talk to each other. So students now understand there is a fear in them that, okay, I have to be performing very well because else college will take good control of me because they are all connected now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vamshi, for the honest review about the internship. And I also want to acknowledge the efforts by Dr. Deepak and Ms. Preeti in getting the Internship Management System live. I would now like to invite Professor Devika ma'am to address the gathering, please.
Sarvargyo Namaskara. I would like to start by putting on record my deep appreciation and gratefulness to Dr. Saraswati for having me here at such an important juncture. In this whole room is so much intellect, a bank of intellect, and I'm privileged to be a part of this. And I'm also privileged to be a part of your mission, Dr. Saraswati, doing such an important work so selflessly. Thank you. So, it is very well captioned, the caption is there also, diamond beneath our feet, right? So, all the valuable metals that we women like are beneath our feet. And we know that when somebody does divining and they find some gold or some diamond, what do? We quickly get the earth movers and the diggers and start digging so that we can access the gold we can access the diamonds, we can do trade within the country and internationally and establish our might. There are young diamonds. They are not beneath the earth. They are among us. They are these people who live around us, our children. We need to also deploy the digging required to get these diamonds and give them the shine that they deserve, the shine that they are diamonds, they are in their natural form. Today, how much we pay for a natural, we have, I don't know, ladies know this, I don't know if the gents know this, there are mined diamonds and there are lab-grown diamonds. And the mined diamonds are a shame in front of lab-grown diamonds because lab-grown diamonds shine. But the ladies, we really go after mined diamonds and we empty the pockets of our husband after that. Because those are our natural assets. These children who are our country's future, they are our natural assets. We talk about Viksit Bharat. Our beloved PMG has captioned it like that. Half of us who are older here either will not be here at 2047, or we will be too old to be effective at 2047. Okay? We should accept this truth. This is just the rule of nature. So who will lead at 2047? Who do you think will be at the helm of affairs? We are talking about Viksit Bharat. Those are none but these children. One will be a minister somewhere, one will be leading some other mission, but it is these children at 2047 who will be leading our nation. And that is exactly what we have to bear in mind when we are designing programs of skilling, reskilling, and upskilling today. With exactly this in mind, our government and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has brought out so many different yojanas, which are very meaningful. I know that these yojanas are in Delhi and they are being interpreted to the country by different ways of the ministry, and we understand them differently and implement them differently, but then whatever we do, the facets of these are going to benefit our nation in a large way. So somebody has already given the statistics, 65% of our population is today beneath the age of 35. And this, dear friends, is the strength of India, believe me. Other countries might have pride that they have oil with them. Some countries may have pride that they have arsenal with them. We really must take pride in our youth. And youth, amazing youth we have in India. We talk about STEM all the time, I know that. We have amazing STEM capabilities. But non-STEM HSS also, we have wonderful youth doing wonderful work in our country. And this is one unutilized, untapped resource, I can say, that we are sitting on. And we really, when we realize the full potential of this, we will beat any developed nation just by this kind of young energy that we have in our country. It is estimated that by 2030, which is the aim of the SDGs, the UN SDGs, to realize that India is expected to have the largest working age population globally by 20. So the entire globe is going to be looking at us. However, this kind of an aspiration is not without its challenges. There are challenges in front of us. The first challenge is this thing that campus to corporate. Today, already the tool released by Dr. Saraswati and his team has shown how they want to manage the process. So we have to very diligently take stock of this gap that is being created from campus to corporate. So much so that giants like Infosys are running an entire facility, and not only that, that's an example, but other corporates, they're running entire facilities of training. Okay? They not only run their industry, but they're running a training huge infrastructure. So why is it required? Our child went to college for 4 years. Teachers taught them for 4 years. We had lab, everything. But these corporates need to run these training programs. That's what they say. Oh, you give a degree and send the child. We send them to the floor. They do nothing. We need to train them. Okay? This is exactly what's happening. This is a crevice that is there between campus to corporate that we should very carefully observe, we people who are the educators, who are the policymakers, and how to really gap this industry education mismatch. I represent what is called as INFLIBNET, Information and Library Network of India. We are an inter-university center of the UGC, and by mandate, we network university libraries in India, which means that we are responsible for providing all the knowledge resources, all type, textbooks, guidebooks, journal content, databases, and services about that. We also provide a software, a homegrown software in India called the Software for University Libraries to run the libraries practically free of cost. And we also handhold the university libraries in India, giving them the adequate training that is required, and also we give the infrastructure help that is required for the university libraries. So by mandate we have been doing this, but we do much more than that. Today, INFLIBNET is actually lends its support to higher education in India itself. And we help the MOE, we shoulder several responsibilities with MOE to roll out the MOE programs practically at the practical rollout level from INFLIBNET Gandhinagar. So saying that in brief, there's a lot of things to be discussed on this important topic. That is exactly why I'm grateful to Dr. Saraswati for bringing such a group of a think tank over here. This can be a kickoff point where we really try to solve this problem and come out with practical solutions. We have taught enough, we have said enough theoretically maybe. Now we have to look at what we can do to tap all this so that we bring India and our youth into the forefront come 2047. So from INFLIBNET, I assure you our assistance and our collaboration at any juncture that you would need it. Saying that, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Kindly stay on stage, ma'am. And thank you for telling us the importance of bridging the gap between campus and corporate. While I make you wait, I request Dr. Rashmi Ravikiran, ma'am, philanthropist and chairman of East-West Group of Institutions, and Dr. Sita Ram Chowti to step forward to honor our chief guest, Dr. Professor Devika P. Madali, ma'am. Ma'am, we are ever grateful for your insightful words. And the audience, I expect some energy from you. Thank you, dignitaries. As we move forward to the next segment, but on one condition. Do you want to know what that is? A yes or a no, please? Yes, the condition is as you continue clapping and we honor the next set of guests. Can we follow the condition, please? Thank you.
So moving on to our next segment, to honor our special guest of today, our first guest is Dr. Rangaswamy B., Registrar of VTU. Can we please have Dr. Rangaswamy B., Registrar of VTU, and to accompany him, is he not available today? Okay, all right. Let's move on to our next guest, special guest for today, Dr. Sandhya R. Anvekar. Dr. Sandhya R. Anvekar, can you please come on the dais? To honor Dr. Sandhya, we request Dr. Tejam Padu and Ms. Veena Bella to do the honors. Dr. Tejam Padu. Dr. Sandhya R. Avnekar, the Director of Skill Development, VTU. She is currently the Director of Skill Development and she is also the Chairperson of Women's Cell of VTU. Give her a big hand of applause, everyone. Thank you. Can you please be seated on the dais, ma'am? Veena, yeah, please be seated on the dais. Veena, ma'am, can you please be seated on the dais? Our next guest of honor is Venkataraman Anand, the advisor of Goenka Group. Can we please have Mr. Venkataraman on the dais, please? And we also request Dr. M.R. Gangadhar, the VC of Chamarajanagara University, and Dr. Vidya Shankar to honor Mr. Venkataraman Anand. He is not available, I think. Okay, all right, sure. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Please be seated on the dais. Our next chief guest, guest of honor is Sonal Pinto. Sonal Pinto, the director of Ryan Group of Institutions, and she is currently the and she has completed her post-graduation in education management and is a diploma holder in early childhood teacher education. Dr. Ashok Sangappa, the VC of Kodagu University, and Dr. Venkateshwarulu request both of you to do the honors to Sonal Pinto, our special guest for today. Can we have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. And please be seated on the dais. Sir, please be seated on the dais. Our next special guest is Dr. Reshmi Ravikiran, the chairperson of East-West Group of Institutions. To honor her, we have Professor L. Gomati Devi, the Vice Chancellor of Maharani Cluster University, and Dr. Niranjana Vanali. Can we please have Dr. Reshmi, Professor L. Gomati, and Dr. Niranjana Vanali on the dais, please? Okay. Dr. Niranjana Vanali, can you please do the honors to Dr. Reshmi Ravikiran? Thank you. Please be seated on the dais. Our next special guest is Professor N. Nadeem, the founder, director of Institution of Design, Government of Sri Lanka and Brunei. To honor him, we request Professor Dr. Anurag Tomar, director of NIMS University Jaipur, and Sri Sangeet Varghese on the dais, please. Applause, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's time for lunch and you all must be very hungry. Just some more time. Thank you so much and please be seated on the dais. Our next special guest is Shri Anil Sharma, from Ministry of Education and Ministry of Health and Science Technological Park, Government of Mozambique. Request Professor Dr. Suresh H. and Dr. Sitaram Chowti to do the honors to Shri Anil Sharma. Shri Anil Sharma is an advisor for the Software Technology Park in Mozambique and a consultant for the Ministry of Education, Government of Mozambique. Welcome, sir.
I now request Dr. Sitaram Chowti to kindly stay back on the stage as we have the other guest to honor. I would like to call upon Mr. Dilip Kumar Nair, Chancellor, Northeast Frontier Technical University, to receive the honor from Dr. Sitaram Chowti. Sir, kindly step forward. Up next is KV Harinarayanan, who is the Managing Director of Lighting Technology, India. Sir, can we have you on the stage, please? Honoring Sir is Thiru Somarajeshwaran, Sir, AVP MEAC TNSDC. Sir, kindly step forward. Up next is Mr. Anil, Special Officer to Minister of the State and the KS Officer and Commissioner of Road Safety, to receive the honor. I would request Dr. Nayak, Vice Chancellor of Garden City University, to kindly step forward to honor Mr. Anil.
Present here. I know it is very difficult to speak before lunch and after lunch for some time. So it is not raining outside, so we have to clap for Shridhar sir. Not like this, not like this. We have to start raining, so we have to clap on 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 and 4, and then clap. One, keep clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is what we can do for the author of these 2 books. So I know there is a limit time, and I have to just touch upon 2-3 main important issues. I am Dr. Virender. I am a civil engineer by profession and working in Quality Council of India. We all know that quality is a journey, not an end product, and in Quality Council of India, we are dealing with different boards like hospital accreditations, laboratory accreditations, educational institution accreditations, and so many things which we are doing, environment consultant, MSME, and all those things. So I will take only 5 minutes just to point out 2-3 important things regarding the internship. Before joining this, we were doing teaching, and I was administrator. Student, they are signing, not putting them as a labor class in their company, but on the shop floor as a manager with a minimum guaranteed salary of more than 25K. It is already there. So that is good that if I'm talking to these my friends or faculty colleagues who are there, let us start with these type of program where apprenticeship, where internships are mandatory, and let us blend it with our curriculum, because our curriculum, those who are in university, it is there in your hand. You can have a teaching semester, you can have an internship semester, again teaching. This type of model we have to work, we have to do the things for Viksit Bharat. And lastly, we are doing one project with the Ministry of MSME, that is the implementation of lean scheme. This is that project of the central government, where 90% of the money for implementation of that project comes from the central government, but we are not aware. And as a QCI representative, as a NABET representative, we are talking to those MSME. The friend has given me a figure of 3 crore. We are not having 3, we are having 6 crore MSME available in our country registered. Those 6 crore, if they can give 2-3 these because these are small colleges or the university which are situated in the rural area, and those MSMEs are also situated in those areas. If they can combine together small packages, the student or IT or manufacturing, they can jointly do, and that MSME will also grow. The student will get this hands-on experience. And this, the advice we have given to the Ministry of Commerce also, that ask the industry to handhold one university or a cluster of colleges nearer to that, ask those teachers also to go over there, ask those students also to come in that industry. So this is how we can work together with the industry. And I know if we all decide that we have to take this education into the next level, we, the educationists who are sitting in this room, we have to take a pledge that we will do our best, because at our time when we were there in the college, placement नाम की कोई चीज नहीं होती थी. It is only this decade, after 2010 or after 2005, this placement started. The people have started asking those placement company to hire those people. So at that time also jobs were there, but now because of lot of people, lot of student, we have to think for the alternates. We have to think for the exponential growth, and we have to think for the larger community which we are serving. And yes, sir, the earlier speaker also said that quality and quantity. This is an era where quality and quantity has to go together. We have to enroll the student to maintain our GER or take that GER to that level, so quantity will come. So out of that quantity, how many we can convert in the placements, and how can we can convert in the startups? How can we can ask them to go out and then bring those dollars back in the country? This is up to us, up to the educationists to decide. So thank you again, sir, once again for inviting me. And I know we all are learned, and we all are going to carry some one or two tips with us, which we can implement in the educational institution where we are serving. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kanwar. Can you please stay back on the stage? It was definitely an insightful speech. Request Dr. Niranjana Vanali and Ms. Veena Bella to please honor Dr. Kanwar. A small token of appreciation, Dr. Kanwar. Thank you so much. And ma'am, here's your book.
It is now time to listen from Shri Sangeet Varghese sir in his own words. Sir, the next 10 minutes is for you.
About 2 decades back, I joined the United Nations as an officer. The first day when I sat at the Secretariat, my director came up to me and he gave me a very important assignment. I, being a junior officer, I knew that this was probably the most important time for me to make a mark in the organization. As I sat in that room, I realized that I had to call upon every single learning which I've had until then. Every single thing which I've learned until then. So I sat down. I thought to myself, what have I learned? I have learned organic chemistry. I've learned inorganic chemistry. I've learned thermodynamics. I have learned electromagnetism. I have learned algebra. I've learned geometry. I've learned calculus. I've learned the history of India. I've learned about Second World War. I've learned about oceanography. So what do I apply? Here is an assignment which has come to me. So what do I apply to my current job? And as I sat there wondering, my other colleagues from Korea, colleagues from Germany, colleagues from China, they all surged ahead. And I am sitting there with what I call as an existential crisis. An existential crisis. What is an existential crisis? An existential crisis is something which questions your existence. So whatever I've learned until then, maths, physics, chemistry, history, geography, civics, everything is in vain? Nothing is helping me? It took me at least a few years to realize that whatever I've learned was not in vain. Behind the opaque walls of the subjects we learn, math, physics, chemistry, biology, geography, history, civics, are what are called as the transferable skills. Transferable skills. So when we learn math, we're not really learning calculus. Of course, we are learning calculus also. But essentially what we are learning is problem-solving skills, logic, break down a problem into smaller problems, discipline. And when we learn history, we're not just learning about Renaissance or Reformation. Skills of critical thinking, big thinking, logic, humanism, ethics, transferable skills. Now we come back to the colleagues who surged ahead. I told you that my colleagues, as I sat over there with my existential crises, my colleagues from Korea, Germany, Japan, they were surging ahead. Why did they surge ahead while I was having this existential crisis? Now, if we have a foreign speaker coming to us and speaking in a foreign language, say Kurdish or Armenian or Azeri. How many of you knew that Azeri is the language of Azerbaijan? Because of the transferable skill of the language which I know, the mother tongue which I know, English which I know, or the transferable skill of understanding the body language of the person, I would be able to make out at least some words. Even if he spoke in Kurdish or in Azeri, I would be able to make out some words. But if I had a translator to myself, it wouldn't take me years to learn this language. I would be up to speed immediately. And this is exactly what internships do. Internships are essentially a translator of your transferable skill. It helps you hit the road running. We Indians are exceptionally good in transferable skills. We are brilliant. But where we lag behind is the translation part of it. If I get an internship opportunity to translate the transferable skill, I would not have taken few years to figure out my existential crises, that this is exactly how I hit the road running. Internships help you hit the road running. Internships help you accelerate. Internships help you win. And India, with its scalability problem, unlike a Germany or Japan or Korea, where all my colleagues came from, this is exactly where the virtual internships or the online internships matter. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shri Sangeet Varghese, can you please come on the dais? The last time. Request Dr. Banu Pratap Singh, Vice Chancellor of Maharishi University, Lucknow, and Mr. Thiru Somarajeswaran from Tamil Nadu Skill Development Corporation to please do the honors to Shri Sangeet Varghese. Thank you so much, Shri Sangeet Varghese, for that motivational speech. Thank you so much. I can hear the stomachs rumbling, so we can break for lunch. I request all the guests, chief guests, and the guests of honors to please be seated here, and the principals and the team can please have the lunch in the food court. Thank you so much.
For the honoring, joining ma'am to honor is Dr. Niranjan Vanli sir and Dr. Padma and Dr. Madhusudan sir. No, No, sir, it's just for the honoring, sir. Audience, we have the chief guest getting honored today. And ma'am has a flight to catch, so thank you, ma'am, for being amidst us. Ma'am, and a happy birthday to you. Thank you, dignitaries of Bangalore North University, to lead us through your words, sir.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Good afternoon. I will promise I will not take much time. I know, being a teacher, it's very difficult to talk after the lunch. Of course, before the lunch also it is very difficult. While coming to this session, I was thinking, internship is not new. The concept of internship was there from the beginning. But how they are going to do this international internship, sitting at home, sitting in Bangalore, sitting in Mysore, how they are going, was my question, and Dr. Sridhar has cleared all doubts now. I have only one question, sir, one request, not question. Now, most of them are engineering college principals. I represent a general university where 125,000 students are there. So my request is, you should give opportunity for the general students also who are graduates to take part in such an internship program. I know it's a very big task. The other day I spoke to you also, because engineering students may be limited, but in the entire country, if we take general degree students are innumerable. So out of them, how many you can place them on internship, and after completion of the internship, they will get the job. In fact, the government of Karnataka has come forward. We have started an internship embedded program. That too for limited students. So this is a big challenge. I want to congratulate you for taking up such a big challenge, and we are all with you. I hope this, because internship, see, I am a journalism professor. I was journalism student, and I went for internship to Prajavani. That's where I really learned the art and craft of journalism. So only during internships and the NEP program specifically, even SEP, specifically points out about internship programs, the importance of internship programs. So if you are successful in doing this to a large number of students, they will remember you forever. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, requesting you to kindly come up stage, sir, please. Sir, kindly come up. While I also request the Vice Chancellor of VTU, Dr. Vidya Shankar sir, and Dr. Sridhar sir to kindly join us in honoring Dr. Niranjana Vanali sir. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this conference. I request Dr. Vidya Shankar sir to kindly stay on stage while we listen to your closing remarks.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. At the outset, I congratulate the IIMSTC for taking initiative to organize this or to host this function to expose all the principals to what is international internship, what is the need of the hour. The universities, irrespective of the professional university or the conventional university, as mentioned by my Vice Chancellor colleague Vanali, that today The rating of the universities will done on, nobody is going to measure what you have taught. Whether you have taught to the students or not, that is not important. What percentage of students are being placed in from the university? I will to the parents as well as the students who are joining for first year, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ಲಿ the parents are spending their hard-earned money on their wards to see that the better half of their life. So definitely they will ask one question, illi placement, whether the placement activities is there or not. If the really university aims to make the students industry ready or job ready, all this needs to be designed in a different way altogether by way of an internship program or skill development program. The vision of NEP 2020 also says that, yes, it is a theory plus practical skill. Skill always is at the top priority nowadays. I always say wherever I go, wherever I address my Vice Chancellor colleagues or the students or the principals, the classroom, the dimension used to be 66 square meter for 60 students. I will say 660. Year afterwards it is 660 square meter. Theory classroom should be there because it must include skill. Without skill, it is not possible to make our graduates employable. Employability is the only question which we need to address in each university or each college to make or to keep the strength of the students even. Otherwise, it is not so. Maybe admission may be less, whatever we say. That's why university on its part, has taken an initiative to introduce skill program. More thrust is given on the skill program rather than a theory teaching. Why? I always say, for students of this generation, there are umpteen number of resources for getting the theory portion. But if they want hands-on experience or experiential learning and project learning, they don't get it on mobile. But for a theory, content is available 24/7. There are many programs, NPTEL platform is there, Swayam MOOC platform is there, Infosys Springboard is there, Coursera is there. If they give, they will get the content. If they pay, certain things are free, certain things are paid. But will they get the skill training program at their wish? Every year in VTO alone, forget about the country, 15 lakh engineering graduates are going to be released every year. In our VTO, 90,000 engineering graduates will going to come. And we have introduced a system called 7th semester completely internship, 8th semester completely project work from 22 onwards. Is it possible to provide an internship program by the industry for all the 90,000 students? I will say, I will make the statement, it is impossible. So what to do? That's why in a curriculum, understanding, in fact, Saraswati, he met me after I introduced this program called International Exposure, International Internship. There is one more company, only Nestlings. They have also presented in Atria about international internships. These platforms are necessary for giving a students exposure even to the international internship, where our state or the industry alone cannot provide the internship training. How much interest they will take if it is a free internship? That is a question mark again. Sometimes, that's why the university is now going to establish a platform, especially for 22 batch onwards. The reason is the students will not study any theory. If at all any boards, I have already announced, want to keep the theory, they have to do it online, no offline business. Online. The reason is we must give at least 6 months exposure to students completely in one particular area chosen by them. That is what today, what is happening? Today I will tell you one thing, that the engineering colleges, especially from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, are asking, we have allotted 240 internship program in 4 or 5 different trades, sponsored by NSDC, but they are asking, sir, 240 is not sufficient. You increase it to 340 or 360. This is what the demand. Now today, I want to place on record before all the principals that today 15,000 students have already enrolled for the internship program offered by, sponsored by NSDC. I will tell you, by 8th semester, there will be another 15 to 25,000 students are willing. Tell me, frankly, touching your heart, how many colleges are putting effort to get the internship program for students in an industry? What they will do, I will repeat the same words that Saraswati has repeated. Either they will go to some company. I will tell you where is the hub of that center is running. In Vijayanagar, if you go to, you will find the n number of companies on a roadside, and they are issuing the certificate. If that is the case, whatever the vision that we write or written, right on the walls, putting the vision and mission, that will not be possible to achieve the vision or mission of the university or of the college. We will all say world-class, to create world-class education and give a quality education. Where is the question of world-class education and quality education if the project work certificate are brought and the internship certificate are purchased? Even if you, that's why even now there are a lot of things that university is going to do. We are going to create a platform wherein whatever the project work that the students they do, they have to put on our platform. If there is any repetition, we will not allow such students. And students here afterwards, simple, as we are doing the valuation of answer booklets, each students must put along with their guide, must post what is the title that they are doing. Without that, they cannot proceed with the continuation of the project work. It may take another 6 months, may not be this 8th semester, but next 22 batch onwards, we are going to create a platform for internship as well as for project work.